Hello, BookTube. Wanted to check in today and talk about another book haul. Yes, just since last week I have done another book haul. I went back to the same used bookstore that I went to last week. I guess I just hadn't quite gotten my itch. And there were a couple of other books that I had looked at there and hadn't bought and just wanted to go back and look at a couple more things. So let's get started. One of the books that I got was this one, The 7% Solution by Nicholas Meyer. This is a Sherlock Holmes type story, and I was recommended this book by Randy Ray at the Literate Texan, and so I was happy to find a pretty clean, pretty well-bound version of this book. It came out in, I think, 1974, and I am looking forward to reading this book and possibly doing a buddy read on it. All right, got two books from Len Deighton, or by Len Deighton. This is SSGB. This is a alternative history of World War II, or at least an alternative history of Great Britain and Germany in the war, in which looks like in which the Germans either win the war or at least win part of it. And these kind of stories are always kind of horrifying, but also strangely addictive. And so I'm looking forward to reading that. And I also picked up this Spyhook by Len Deighton. This was in the dollar section that was out in front of the store. The binding is a little less than ideal, but still pretty readable, pretty clean. So I was glad to get this for a low cost. The bookstore had the used bookstore had a nice little section of Len Deighton books, and might go back there when I'm done reading these two. The final fiction book that I just picked up was The Plot Against America by Philip Roth. This is also another alternative history. It's an alternative history in America, in which in 1940, Charles A. Lindbergh, the aviator and rabid isolationist, wins the election over Franklin Roosevelt and institutes a anti-Semitic plan of harassment, re-education, all that sort of thing. I've read this is a book that I had in my possession once before. Read it for a book club, and I don't remember unhauling this book, but I must have, because it isn't anywheres or wasn't anywheres in my collection of books. And so I've been thinking about getting this book again, and so found a nice clean copy. And really good binding, and so glad to get this book back. The last two books are nonfiction, and I intend this year to get back into reading nonfiction. I read very little nonfiction last year, read a lot of fiction, and this being the 250th year anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, that has turned some people's thoughts and minds to American history and the American founding, and something I might want to talk a little bit more about in future videos. But for now, I picked up two biographies relating to somewhat less well-known founders of the American Republic. One book was used that I got at the bookstore, and another was new that I ordered from Amazon for a reduced price. This is what I got at the bookstore. This is a biography of Edmund Randolph by John J. Reardon. This was published in 1974, and I had not heard of this book, and I hadn't really been thinking much about this subject or this particular founder. Edmund Randolph was a participant in the Constitutional Convention of 1787, if I'm not mistaken, and he went on to be, I believe, the Attorney General, the first Attorney General in President George Washington's administration. He was from Virginia, and so I look forward to learning more about this gentleman, and it kind of adds to my collection of biographies from the founding period, and in particular, again, to those founders that are a little less well known than some of the major names. Got this for about $10. I had seen this biography when I was in the store last week, and I just didn't know if I was quite interested enough in it to buy it, and I left the store, and I've been thinking about it for the last week and decided that maybe I wanted to go pick this up and add that to my collection. The new book that I bought is this one. This is Penman of the Founding by Jane E. Calvert. It's a biography of John Dickinson. John Dickinson was originally from Pennsylvania, and he was active in the Revolutionary period and in the Continental Congress, which ultimately led to the declaring of independence from Great Britain. John Dickinson was active as a writer and polemicist of the founding, kind of writing letters from a farmer, I believe, was kind of what he is well known for. He was actually one of the more conservative members of the Revolutionary era, which essentially means that he was not really eager for a separation from Great Britain or a revolution, but he did want to contest the challenge to American liberties that Great Britain had embarked upon. So he very much wanted a reconciliation with Great Britain, and he was sort of one of the holdouts in the Continental Congress for declaring independence. But anyway, yeah, this is actually a pretty new book. Came out in 2024. I took a complete flyer on this book. Did not download a Kindle sample, and I don't know anything about this author, but it was published by Oxford University Press, and so I thought, and it was marked down about a third of its price. Price was, I think, listed at $35, and I got it for, I think, $12. So I thought it was worth a shot. And the only thing I'm a little regretting here is there doesn't appear to be a bibliography with this book. Maybe that's how Oxford University Press does it. Really don't understand why a nonfiction book would not have a bibliography. Other than that, it looks like an inviting read. It's about 400 and some odd pages of text. Again, this is Penman of the Founding, published in 2024. It's a biography of John Dickinson, and the author is Jane E. Calvert, who I am not familiar with, but glad to get a good price for this book and add this to my collection. So that does it for this book haul, but I would love to hear what books you're buying this year. If you have bought or intend to read any books on the American founding this year. Would love for you to discuss that, drop that down in the comments. But for now, good day to you all, and I will be back soon with another bookish video.